I bring you my January reads. Hey guys, it's Tara Dandy on your screen again, and today I have my January reads. I'm kind of recording this on January 13th, so the month isn't over yet, but I'm pretty sure I will not be reading any more books, or at least like finishing any more books this month. So let's start. The first book I read this month, I read it in a few hours. Like it's a pretty short book, and it's a poetry book, so it's not like there was a lot to read. But I was really into it, and I read it in one sitting. So it's The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by Amanda Lovelace. This is a Portuguese edition, Brazilian Portuguese. I bought it for like $2. It's what it would come to, $2 and $3, something like that, €2. It was very cheap, so I was like, okay, I'm getting this. I am getting this, and I did. I love the cover. Like this is it's a very pretty cover, and I haven't read a lot of poetry books. Like, I had this book of poetry when I was a little kid. It's a big poetry book, but it was like poetry for kids. And I think my mom still has it somewhere. But that was like the extent of my I don't know the word. Basically, the only other poetry that I knew of was from school, like things that we learned in school. This book, someone gave it to my mom and to give it to me, so that was like the only thing that I got outside of school. Also, I do follow this one person who writes poetry, and I really wanted their book. It's called Having Pride. I forgot the name of the writer, but it's a poetry of LGBT things, a poetry book of LGBT things, and I wanted that. But let's talk about this book first, right? It's modern poetry, of course, and this book is like from a series. There's the princess saves herself in this one, and then there's another one that I don't know the name of, and I want them. But like I said, I read this in one sitting, and then the day that I got the book, because I was on the train on my way back to my grandma's, and I was just reading this, even like as I walked from the train station to my grandma's, because I can't say that it's like the best poetry ever. There are like a few poems that is just like what people complain about, that's like just sentences that are cut, and like part of the sentence is up here and part of the sentence is up there, and it just keeps going like that. But I think it's commendable that it has like a theme, and that the writer stuck to the theme, and that she built so much upon it, and it's just like it's great. And honestly, I loved it. I loved reading this. I just love the experience. I don't care like about each poem individually. It felt like a story, you know? Like I was reading a sort of story. And I loved it at the very end because it has a poem like saying that the rage that women feel, like the rage that women have, like the book, it's talking about like letting women rage, and that's great. It's amazing. We should let women rage. But at the very end, she's talking about, I'm trying to find it. Well, here, know that this rage has limits and act accordingly. That's what I wanted to say. Because it's like, it's nice, you know, because you can't be angry forever. You can't rage forever. And it's like, sometimes you gotta stop and you gotta act in other ways that is gonna help you more than being angry at things. And it's just, the entire book is like about let women rage, and yes, but at the very end it's kind of like, know that it has a limit, and know that you can't do other things. And it's just, I love that. I do. I love this book. I love this poetry. It made me want to go out and like read more poetry books. Maybe I'll find better than this one because like I said, this is pretty much my first interaction with a poetry book. But it was a really nice read for me. I'm still smiling. Like I'm smiling right now just talking about the book, but it's just because I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I really loved it. And just like the whole experience of reading this book, it was nice. It was really, really nice. Now for the next one that I read, it was Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. And again, this is a Portuguese edition. It's in Portugal's Portuguese, actually. And I love this cover. Like, I got the book specifically for this cover. I don't think I remembered anything about this author and about the book. And I only got it because of the cover. Because look at this cover. It's gorgeous. And I loved it. And it's, yeah. This book, I almost fell. This book, I think I read it in 4 days. No, it was like 6 days, which is kind of the standard for me. But at the very end of the book, like 50 pages, no, 100 pages or so, I was just like, yes, I want, because stuff started happening. This book is pretty slow, and I hear like a lot of people complaining about it because it's very slow. Things start only happening at like the last few hundred pages, and like I get it. But this book is supposed to be like a setup for the next one in the series. I think it's supposed to have 4 books, and this is the first one, and it's just the setup for everything. And I do think it stands on its own because it's just like sets up the characters and the queens and like the world building. Oh, well, that happened. Okay, it's a bit too high. Yeah. We're gonna spend a minute trying to work this out. What? Yeah. Okay. The world building on this, I just thought it was amazing. Why does this keep happening to me? I'm gonna leave that there. Okay. The world building on this book, I thought it was freaking amazing. And this is bothering me. I need to work on it. Better. Technical difficulties overcome. I hope. Overcame. I don't freaking know. The book. The world building on this, I thought it was so good and so well done. And I just had this feeling that like the system that these characters grew up in really like shaped them, which is what happens in real life. Your experiences because of where you live shape how you turn out to be, and I thought that was amazing. Especially with the queens, Maribella, Azinoy, and Catherine. They were. Oh, I have to write this composition for school, and I decided to write about how the system impacted each of the 3 sisters, because I find that fascinating. I really do. Because you have Maribella, who's being manipulated into taking power, and who, like, if she becomes queen, she will not have the power over herself. She will be like a puppet for this religious organization. So she's always hesitant about it, not because she knows that she's being manipulated, but just because she knows that it's not what she wants to do. And then there's Catherine, who was brought up by the family that has been in power for years and who's been taught about this from the start, and who is just, she knows everything about the system, or is supposed to know everything about the system. And she just wants the crown, baby. She just wants to fucking go for it. And she goes for it. And then there's Arzinoy, who's just not at all about that life. Just nope, she wants out. Let's fucking go. She tries to run away twice. Once before the start of the book. She doesn't want shit to do with this man. She doesn't want anything. And that's probably because she's considered the weaker queen, and it's just like, this book messed with me, man. It really messed with me, and now I gotta read 3 more. Kendall Blake, she wants to end my life, man. She wants to have my life in my heart. It just, I'm gonna freaking die. The next book was Carvel by Stephanie Garber. This is a very petite book compared to the previous one. And it's just, I love the cover. It's a very pretty cover. Like, look at that. And the spine, I love it. But I gotta say, I don't know if Kat from Paperback Dreams got into my head, because I watched her review of this book before I read it, or if I was genuinely disappointed with this book because of my own ideas. But I, like, didn't love it as much as I thought I would. It gave me strong Night Circus vibes, and that's a book that I love. But at the same time, it was kind of, I hated, what's the main character? Scarlet. I kind of hated her. I did like that her arc revolved around, like, learning not to underestimate her sister. But she spends so much time, like, saying that her sister is not strong enough or smart enough or any or stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty annoying. And it's so repetitive. Scarlet is so repetitive. Oh my god, I can't remember, like, the amount of times that she says, I have to find my sister. Like, I didn't forget your goal, okay? I didn't freaking forget that you want to find your sister. You don't have to say it every, like, 5 pages, okay? I remember. It's just annoying. But otherwise, I think the rest was pretty great. I loved Donatella. She has spunk. I like a character who has spunk. Like, I'm a simple person. Give me a character who has spunk, and I love them. That's pretty much it. Julian, I kind of feel cheated, like, as much as Scarlet feels cheated after the ending of this book, because, spoilers, he wasn't exactly himself through the whole thing. Like, through meeting Scarlet and knowing her and, like, telling things about himself. Like, he did say that the things he told her about himself were true. Like, he came from a messed up family and all that stuff. But he wasn't acting totally like himself because he's an actor of the Carvel. So he wasn't himself exactly. So I kind of feel cheated. I don't really know who freaking Julian is. So I want to read the second book, Legendary, I think, because I think it centers more around Donatella, and I really loved her character. So I want to read that. And maybe I'll find out who the freaking heck is really Julian. And that's a sentence. But yeah, I didn't totally hate it. It's like, I gave it 3 stars, I think, on Goodreads. But Scarlet was really like the downfall of everything for me. Just, yeah. And now, for a book that I truly hated, because I forced myself to read this when I had no interest in it whatsoever. Oh, this book is Superman. I heard something. I don't want to keep recording if someone's gonna come. I think I'm good. Maybe. I'm good. So, Superman. O Fim da Aurora. I don't know what the name of this is in English. This is Portugal's Portuguese. That's my mom. Continuing. It's a book about Superman, and I have no interest whatsoever in Superman. I actually got this book for free because I was at FNAC and I wanted to get Wonder Woman's book because she is who I'm interested in. Actually, I also think I have a crush on her, but whatever. It's a character. I have a crush on a character, yes. And it's like, I saw this promotion thing, sale thing. It was like a take two and pay for one kind of thing. So I got Wonder Woman's and I got these. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call it a piece of crap. I have nothing against the author or Matt de la Peña. I have nothing against him. I have never heard of him before. I don't know if he's a good writer or not because this is translated, so I can't really tell like how he would actually write. But it's just that this is so boring. It's so freaking boring. Clark is not entertaining whatsoever. He's a teenager and he's boring. Boring. The most boring character is the main one. And there's Lex Luthor in here. The extent of my knowledge about him is from Young Justice. Look, all I can say about this book is that it's boring. It's so freaking boring. The only thing that I actually like about this book is his best friend, someone called Lana Lang. Because she's a good friend, and she's energetic and also has a lot of spunk. So, I like her. But that's the only thing that I have about her. There's this scene where this guy gets super uncomfortable in this room because he sees some creepy shit, and he goes to her friend, he goes to Lana, we need to get out of here. And he's very uncomfortable, and she doesn't question it. She doesn't freaking question it. She just gets him out of there. And it's yes, you a good friend. I hail good friends. But that is it. I got through 130 pages. I'm not willing to suffer through more to get more Lana because I honestly don't need more Lana that much. And this book has 300 and something pages. I'm not about that. I'm about boring books with over 300 pages. And like I said, I haven't finished it. I don't plan on finishing it. And that is my January read. This is how many books I usually read in a month. I'm not a slow reader, but I'm also not a really fast reader. I think in my other videos of monthly reads, I had 4 books or 5, something like that. I could have read more this month if it wasn't for this last thing. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. I don't really know what I'm doing as a YouTuber anymore. I just, do I become a booktuber? I don't think I can because I don't read that much. And I don't have the time to record so much. So I'm just kind of I don't know what my channel is. I know this freaking Copa thing, kid videos for kids and videos for not kids, and it doesn't have a general audience sort of thing. And my videos can't have the comment section anymore because it's on the kids category, which is my videos are not for kids. I don't make family-friendly content, I believe, since I swear a fucking lot. I don't have to worry about monetization just yet because I'm not a partnership YouTuber. I don't have the YouTube partnership. I do appreciate the 100 people that decide that they want to have my channel around. It's kind of boggles my mind, and it's really nice. I kind of lack ideas for YouTube videos at the moment. I mean, I have the completed room tour, but my room is currently a mess, and I would have to be alone at home to do that, and I haven't been alone at home in a really long time. There was this one video that I wanted to do with Easy back in Brazil, but we didn't have, like, we had the time, but I didn't have the memory space on my phone, which is where I record my videos. I don't know. I feel like if I wanted to do some things, more complicated things like skits and things like that, I would need better materials and I would need to have a space to record at. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to spread love, and I'll see you in the next video.